Hello, everybody, and welcome to today's weekly Town Hall meeting, August 8th, 2022. Today's agenda is projects and development updates, documentation updates, marketing updates, and Q&A. Robinson, please start us off with projects and development updates.
Thank you. As usual, let's start with our process improvement list. So this week we have added or identified some other few more aspects that which we need to improve, which starts with our metrics, where our current project management and engineering metrics are probably not best. For example, when we look at the project statuses, what we're doing right now is that we are conveying what is being done in the previous week, as opposed to we're not saying how close we are to delivering a certain product or a service. We are working towards, we are identifying solutions and trying to figure out how to address this. And on the engineering metrics as well, we in the past we had quite a few tools which used to give us our code quality metrics and various security aspects. It is not just the vulnerability aspects, but in general the code, how secure our code is, and things like that. So we have kind of deviated away from those practices. So going forward, we need to make sure that we're bringing these back. The second one is something I touched upon, the security and vulnerability management. What's happening right now is that products, especially the Node.js and JavaScript projects, even the Python projects are not an exception. What's happening is that the maintenance of the packages is not happening. So as time passes, we are accumulating large number of vulnerable packages, and it seems only the DevOps is pointing this out. The rest of us are kind of closing our eye to these vulnerable packages out there. So we need to look into this as well, and mostly the something like a quality gate, which will prevent any further QA before addressing at least a set of high severity security and vulnerability aspects should be brought in. So that is another aspect which is in discussion. The third item is a peculiar one. We have 358 epics in GitHub right now. That is, even if each one of us, the entire PBSA team, if we take 10 epics each, even then there will be epics left behind. But this is primarily because of a lot of duplicate epics and things which needs to be closed out, etc., etc. This needs to be sorted out as well, because what's happening right now is that things are so peculiar that we are not even able to use the epic feature in GitLab. If you try to select an epic, you get an infinite, very long list of epics. So often it's very difficult to even find one, and then there are duplicate ones. So these are some improvements that we'll be working on in the coming weeks. And moving on to the project updates, on the blockchain side, we are progressing on the Ethereum Suns. So that's the major progress. We now have various smart contracts to handle funds on the Ethereum blockchain. We are using Gnosis Safe contracts. Those are the base of our contracts. So that's progressing well. And in addition to that, we also have QA happening and various leftover tasks from previous milestones that is also going well. And I just want to touch upon the Hive aspect as well. So far we have found no issues or serialization issues with Hive hard fork. The blockchain development in general looks very active and healthy. So here is our burn down and burn up charts. So on the Dex UI, the latest is that we have completed QA of version 7.1, which has various fixes and new feature, which is the Whale Vault integration. This will be promoted to production sometime this week. A new release is given to QA, which is 0.7.12. This is given to QA, and we also have a new QA team member now, so it's progressing quite fast. The charts doesn't look pretty impressive. On the next UI, our primary focus has been the alignment of design and the functional specs. So that exercise is somewhat complete, and we have now started creating the tickets. And on the design side, we are also working on the design. We are also working on the test cases. That's something which I missed out adding here. So we're also working on the test cases which are developed against the functional specs. So that's also in the progress. QA, we don't have any QA happening right now. So the QA version still remains the same. This is our charts from the latest and current milestone. Block Explorer. So this one we have completed all the bug fixes and other problems which we had with respect to the database, etc. And this week we'll be publishing this to the production. So we were supposed to have this completed last week, but we had one additional fix for the pagination, so that is also completed at this point. True Hands, the NFT component project. So we now have completed a component for NFT details, and the same has been used in one of our roads. There are two slides. These links have the details of these new components which is being implemented. So we have some impressive charts here with a 100% completion. NFT lottery, we have, as indicated earlier, we have been trying to get this demo working, but apparently the delays was because the code which was available on the server was somehow an older one. So instead of using the NFT version, we were using the older one with assets. So that has been sorted out right now, and at this point, we're trying to extend the API support, the API to support some of the additional functionalities. On the Python side of things, so we have been trying to get the test cases working in a Docker environment, but due to some unidentified reason, these tests were failing. So the developer is trying to sort out this. And what's peculiar is that the test cases were working on our public testnet. This item is being investigated. And in addition to that, the CI pipeline is also being worked on. The pipeline is failing for the Python library at this point. And the last one is Bookie Pro. The packaging for the various versions, that was the last item which was pending here, and that is also completed. So that's all from the development team. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Robinson. Sean, documentation update, please.
Hello, thank you. So we are working on eliminating the duplicate documentation from our community docs portal. Here I show an example where we had our Sun node install documents in community docs and also in our infrastructure docs. So we eliminated them from community docs, and we have now some documents there in community docs that are more about what Suns are, how they work, and what that means for the network. So that is one of our most recent projects, and that effort is still underway. Thank you.
Thank you, Sean. Sala, marketing updates, please.
Thank you, Kelly. Good morning, everyone. In terms of marketing update, we are starting the execution mode of the strategic planning in terms of KPIs for all our channels, including the deployment of the new forum and the scene Avalon, and also the social media strategy and the SEO as well. In terms of tutorial videos, it's still ongoing, doing the tutorials for the new witnesses and how can they become new witnesses. And also, we're still working on producing articles for different product by Peerplays based on each side of the product. And as I mentioned in the strategic planning, we are starting this week the new social media plan in order to boost the whole social media engagement and get the Peerplays channels to the next level. In terms of the performance for the last week, in terms of the website analytics, we got around, in terms of the traffic, is similar to week. However, we have like a better bounce rate than before. We used to have 90%, now we are down to 70%. And for the social media performance for the last week, we got some good positive terms of engagement, but we still bit down for Facebook engagement. In terms of the product performance, this is a snapshot of what we are doing with the product team and dev team that we want to see for each part of the funnel of the product, how the acquisition, engagement, and conversion are doing. So mainly the traffic to the homepage and key page are good and developing. However, since the forum is not yet active, there is no much engagement on it. And also for the conversion, we are working on tracking the KPIs for both like the signups to the Peerplays chain and also the new witnesses on the chain. So this is like a summary of the last week performance and marketing updates. Thank you, Gilly.
Thank you, Sala. Okay, there's no collaboration update today. There was one question that came in from the community, but that question will be answered through Rocket Chat, so please stay tuned for that. Was there any other questions, comments, or thoughts here? Okay, that ends today's town hall meeting, August 8th, 2022. Thank you very much. Happy Monday, and we'll see you all next week.